I still don't have an intro, but wait, are these my hands? I have hands? I have two hands? The I'm not just an amorphous voice in the internet? Yeah, guys, so this is Alvsy Sprocket here, and today we have something a little different in store. You may be able to see that right now, all you can see is a bit of tabletop and some sort of big box. Yeah. So today I have something a little different. Just a little bit of background to get you caught up on what was going on. I was perusing one of my favorite miniature sites because, as I've alluded to a couple of times in the past, I'm a pretty big fan of Dungeons & Dragons, pretty big fan of tabletop stuff, especially a big fan of miniatures. I mean, how could you not be? And when I was checking out the site, I happened to get a little promo that popped up in my, it was in my email actually. A new game released as this was on, I don't know if I said this already, Miniature Market. And it was a Miniature Market exclusive for, let's see if I can get this right. Bum-ba-da-dum-bum-bum. Hate by Come On Games, or Come On. I should mention before I start this, I'm not sponsored by Miniature Market, I'm not sponsored by Hate, I'm not sponsored by Come On, I'm not sponsored by anybody. I just like miniatures, and I like their storefront, and it's where I get a lot of my stuff. So when I saw this, I was like, this is pretty cool. Maybe some of you guys out there will like it. But yeah, so I put the order in because it looks like a very, very cool little game. And by little, I mean, this is a big box. This is a huge box right here. Like, that is not little. Yeah, so it's gonna be fun to do a little bit of an unboxing, something a little different than the normal gameplay stuff, especially to see what we got. Because, whew, I'm excited for this. When I ordered this, it was there was a lot going on in there, and I knew I had to have it. So, Hate. I've done a little bit of research into it, not a whole lot, of course, because who am I to educate myself on what I'm doing first? But Hate is actually based on the graphic novel by Adrian Smith called Chronicles of Hate, and it's basically what seems to be this post-apocalyptic world of savage, brutality and madness. Think sort of in the veins of post-apocalyptic stuff, post-apocalyptic stuff like Fallout, Mad Max, that sort of deal. I believe I've seen little promos and stuff, maybe not commercials, but I've definitely seen like artwork and maybe an advertisement or two for Hate in the past. The Chronicles of Hate, I mean. Because this was actually a Kickstarter exclusive before it went to Miniature Market. But I'm getting all over the place. What you need to know is that Hate is a tabletop miniatures wargame in the same vein as Warhammer, and maybe more specifically Necromunda, where you have a small squad of gangers, of survivors, and you fight against other players in their own little squads on wargaming scenarios. But the difference between Hate and those other games is, well, let's open it up and check it out. So, I have a couple of tools to help me today. I am recording this on a phone, so this shows a bit of the professionalism here. But that's not the only tool I have in my arsenal today. I've got my handy dandy letter opener / tape killer 5000 off to the side, and I got a couple of little plastic friends here to help me too. I cannot remember what the scale of the game is, so I brought along two different minis to kind of help and get a better idea. We've got your normal kind of Space Marine, not a Primaris, so this is like the classic Space Marine as far as skill goes. And here's a Nalzer's Marvelous Miniatures, which is a great miniature line for D&D especially, and everything like that. And I think that's more like Nalzer's is more real scale versus Warhammer, which is not real scale. but they're both about the same height. So, hopefully that'll give us a good idea of what these miniatures look like. So, let's get to unboxing, shall we? Give you one more good look at that side of the box. I've taken off all the little, all the postage and labels and everything used to ship it, so you don't get an idea of who I am in real life. You know who I am. I'm Elsie Sprocket. Let's see here. As you can see right here, even though it's upside down, we're looking at about a 8.5 kilogram box. I think about 16 to 18 pounds. What's the best way to do this? Start down here at the bottom on this tape. This is a big box and it's a heavy box. So we got a whole lot of stuff in store. While I'm opening this up, again, I'm not sponsored by Miniature Market, but I do have to throw this out there that I believe it is still on sale at time of recording this. I'm not sure how long that sale is going to be, but the whole core game, everything released. This is the core box. Is at a huge sale right now, a ridiculous sale. This core box is normally $150, which I think once we look inside we'll see is a pretty good price already. The sale right now has it dropped to $100. 100 flat dollary dues for this big box full of stuff. That's a pretty darn good deal. That's that side. We've got this open. I gotta do the top. You guys can come with me for that. Just gonna take my little... Where's the tape? How does this open? There's where it opens. So, I'm a big dummy. It's pretty simple. Once you open this flap, you can open this flap, and you're inside. Let's do this one-handed, so you guys can still see everything. And we got the box. It's upside down. I opened it upside down, because of course I did. Oh, you can see a little bit of reflection there. Oh, hand. Just put that there. Actually, I'm going to have to put you guys on top of the box for a second. You get the earthquake view as the world shifts and I slowly pull paint out of its gigantic box into its not that much smaller box. Here, here's some styrofoam. Little bits of teasers of what I'm getting through. Oh, we lost a piece. Party foul. I broke that piece. There we go. Ooh. Everything's shifting. Everything's moving. Oh my goodness, this box is gigantic. It's, like I said, a little smaller than this big box you're looking at right now. Let's see. Bum ba dum bum bum. Put these down there. Empty box. Where is it? Where could it be? Look at that. It's still got the cardboard things on the side, but you get the idea. Okay. Let's free it from those. Oh, that makes sense. I think the artwork, the box artwork seems to... It's probably also by Adrian Smith. I didn't look into this, but it would make sense. Look at that box. Look at that. It's beautiful. That's some, what's it called? That's some thumbnail fodder right there. Perfect. Now, back this up. You can see it a little better. And let's get it out of its plastic prison, shall we? Just knocking my background a little bit, which is my normal DM screen, because I don't know, I figured it would, for a moment I thought this would be enough to, you know, work as the background for all this. It's definitely not going to. No more plastic. It's escaped from its plastic prison. The shrink wrap. The shrink wrap is gone. Also, don't expect my full motion of the camera to be very smooth. I've had 2 cups of coffee this morning to get me woken up for this. Woken up? Awake? It's too early in the morning to do that, to figure out the English language. There it is, free from its plastic prison. So, the box looks amazing. And as you can see, it's still extremely big. Here's my little Space Marine in comparison to how big the box is. So it's pretty big. And it's not just tall and wide. It is a thick boy as well. Look at how thick this boy is. Again, Mr. Space Marine. He's maybe a third of the box. And I believe in the back we have a little list of everything. I'll read this little blurb first for you. They ravaged their mother, the earth, and bound her with sorcerous chains. The moon caught fire, the sun froze, in the veins of the world her lifeblood choked to dust. The oceans boiled to miasmas that clotted the skies. Rocks fanged up from the stubble of dying forests. As she began to rot, her creatures, her children, survived as best they could. Tearing at each other, prowling in her fetid hollows, breeding abominations. And, as the ages passed, some lineages of men grew monstrous as others diminished, weakened, and became easily their captives. These higher men fed on the lesser, growing in strength, and hurled their tribes one upon the other in terrible truceless wars, until one tribe crushed the others into kneeling submission under a lord, nameless save for his title, Tyrant. So, we have here all the minis in this box. There's a lot of them. So we've got Tyrant, we've got a bunch of mercenaries, we have that guy. He needs a dentist, obviously. And we've got a bunch of different gangs in here. We've got the Umgra. We've got the Umrak. We've got the Umgor. The Umkal. The Umkator. The Umtal. The Umkordu. And the Unicorn. No, the Bulgar. That's a lot of minis. That's a lot of gangs. And up here we can see a little bit of the game board. And there's basically everything I just said before. A graphic novel by acclaimed artist Adrian Smith, Chronicles of Hate. Yeah, so as I said before, a lot like Necromunda in that each of the battles shapes the battles for the future. And it's about an hour of game time, which is not too bad for a miniatures game. And there's a list of everything that we get in this box. I mean, so looking at price alone, here's why if you don't care about wargaming, if you just like miniatures, this is the greatest box set I've ever seen. 103 miniatures. So if they're the scale I'm thinking of, the same as our little Space Marine there, that is already a great deal. You are paying less than $1 per miniature. Per miniature. Now, that would be great in and of itself, and then you throw in the terrain. We got 24 plateaus, 20 huts, 16 trees. That stuff alone is perfect. That kind of terrain and the miniatures is a great deal for $100. Even the $150, it's still a pretty darn good deal. Again, not sponsored, just think this is super cool. But looking at a box is kind of boring, really, isn't it? Shouldn't we open the box? Shouldn't we see what's in the box? It's like the meme, guys. What's in the box? From that one movie. I'm now standing, and we're gonna shift the box, and let's see what's in the box. I can't open the box. It's a heavy box. Give me a second. Shimmy, shimmy. Shimmy the box up. Ooh. We got side box art. Oh, we got it. Oh, we got it. Ooh. And we got some more side box art. So it looks like a bunch of different characters, or maybe members of the different gangs around each side. Very cool. Very cool. And look at this. We got a whole lot of stuff going on here. Now let's see the insides. Look at all that. Let's start over here. We got some rules and some things. Let's see. Interesting. Okay. This is a bunch of the different rules and stuff. We'll unbox everything. We'll open up everything one by one in just a moment. I just want to see everything that's in the box first. There's the battle map too. Yeah, so they got a lot going here. There. Number 2. Cards. Ooh. Okay. So we got, looks like we got cards that actually, like command cards that you can use maybe. After you KO a prince or mercenary, gain 2 of something. Interesting. Don't know what that resource is, but I think we'll find out soon enough. We got toughness. Okay, so here's the cards for each of the characters, actually, which is kind of cool. And let's see. We got a bunch of tokens. Those are some pretty nice tokens. Again, I don't know any of this yet. I'm going to have to do some reading, and maybe we'll check it out a little more closely. Ooh, a bunch of fire tokens. Skulls with spikes in them. Those are some nice looking tokens. Those are pretty useful, actually, for anything. I mean, fire effects are always great. We got purple. We like ourselves some purple. Some more tokens. What's that, the old game dev team that had that? Was that LucasArts, or was it something else? I can't remember. Those card sleeves, or what are those? Huh. I think those might be card sleeves. More of those sleeves. If I had read through the actual contents, we would know. Bunch of rings. Looks like for each of the minis, maybe. Pretty nice. More of those rings for larger minis. So maybe some of our bigger guys are a bit bigger scale, which makes sense. More of these. We'll find out what those do soon enough. And here's a bunch more skulls. Spooky. Skulls with spikes in them too. A whole lot of those. I wonder if these are for the main board or what. Objective markers, maybe. And a bunch of mummy hands. I gotta say, I love this game's aesthetic. Because most of these are probably just tokens of, you can move here. You can't move here. This is how many points you have. And they're hands and skulls. That's rad. Get some dice. Nice looking little dice. What is that thing? I don't know what that is. It's a piece of plastic. Greatest unboxing ever. This is plastic. Got our huge tile map here. This is actually, holy crap. It's just dawning on me how great this actually could be. I'm gonna set this off separate from the rest of it because I think we're opening that first. Get this stuff out of here. All the dividers. Got a bunch of different, not tokens, but tiles and stuff. Interesting. More of the same. Some craters and stuff. Oh, I think those hands are food. And now in here, we got 2 big boxes that say hate. Let's see. I think these are our minis. If I can get them open. Okay, let's get 1 and then 2. You guys want the minis first? I want the minis first. Let's do the miniatures first. We'll do the shorter box. So, we got our first box of the minis here. Where's my thing? There it is. You guys are going back on the tabletop. Information on that side. Aha! So, we got everyone divided up on their different trays. And of course, numerical. We got a whole lot of stuff in this one box. So I think these are a smaller scale. I stole the box from you guys. I didn't mean to steal from you. I'd make a promise to never do it again, but I forget. Oh, beautiful. These are gorgeous. Oh my god. This is awesome. So, the reason I'm saying this is awesome is because I thought from the look of some of the tokens and the markers that they would be a smaller scale mini, but they're not. They are just about, I think they're pretty much 28 mil scale. Let's grab a guy at random. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 40 minis in this tray, approximately. This guy. We're taking this man out first. And let's take a look. See if I can focus in on him a little bit. Oh, I like him. He's got the dual wield. He's got this little, I forget what that kind of weapon's called, but he's got like a cleaver in the other hand. Love a good dual wield. He's got a nice little paunch on him. Focus, focus. And his face, look at that face. Reminds me a lot of the Uruk-hai, actually, from Lord of the Rings. Look at his back. Ooh, he's got his skull collection on the back. Very nice. He is a very cool looking dude. And if they're all like this, holy crap. Now, I'm going to get right down to eye level. That is a hugely detailed mini. I don't know how well it comes across in this camera. You know, Apple sold this phone to me saying this was like the best camera ever. It's all right. I mean, you can see the ridges on the table. I wish it would just do a better job of showing off the mini. But he is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely. On par with some of the best minis that I have. quality-wise, he looks beautiful. There's so much detail put in. And the way I just picked him out of here randomly, I don't think he's like a leader guy at all. This is one of their, you know, your typical frontline guy. So if they put that much work into that, that's awesome. For reference, here's a Space Marine. Now let's see. Obviously, they're just about the same height. So these are pretty much the exact same scale. Proportions-wise, he's actually pretty close to the Space Marine. So let's swap our Space Marine friend for our little fighter man. Yeah, so they're not... I don't believe they're like true scale. They're not a realistic scale. But that's honestly just that's just something I was curious about. That doesn't really impact it whatsoever. It's just interesting to know that. Yeah, look at that. I'm showing off the wrong mini. Nobody cares about him. Let's get some of his friends out. So he's got the lime green bases. And what's really nice, I don't know if you guys were able to notice it or not, but each of the gangs actually has their own color bases. So these guys here, obviously, they've got their little like lime green base. But if I grab this guy here, for instance, out of the way, Goon Squad, he's actually got like the blue base. So even if you don't really know the game, if you're new to the game, they have bases color-coded so you know who you guys are. Very cool. Excellent idea. That's a great idea. That's especially where a lot of them have, you know, similar decor before they've been painted. That's a very good idea. I'm trying to think if I've seen wargaming sets that have done the same thing, and nothing comes to mind, but I could be wrong. Pick up tray number 1. And let's check tray number 2 and grab all of our lime green boys. All right. Oof, that was loud. Apologies. So, here we have our lime green gang. I cannot recall which ones these guys are supposed to be. I can check in just a second, actually. But we got some pretty cool dudes here. We got our friend that we opened up first. And he's joined by... Here he is. Here's his friend, who also kind of looks like an Urukai. But he's got that weird hand axe thing. I like that. He's pretty cool. I don't know if this is their leader or not, but he definitely could be in the running for it. This guy right here. He's got a pretty awesome battle axe. Some nice hair. Gotta love a mini with good hair. And, don't know if you can see that little detail, but he has some decorations on the front that are supposed to look like, something in particular. That's awesome. We got Old Man Withers with his mega sword. I know, he just kind of looks like the old veteran. And we got Captain I wore a helmet that doesn't fit on my head. With his maul of sorts. Pretty cool dude. We got this guy. He's got the dual wield. These guys like their dual wield and heavy weapons. And speaking of that, look at this guy. Just, is he doing the, he's got his back foot. Let me see if I can get that better. He's doing this weird stance, and I kind of love him. He's doing his own thing. And then this guy, he might be the leader, actually. Whew, look at him. Very cool dude. Very, very cool. Big battle axe. Always good when you have a skull helmet. Yeah. Now give me just a moment to see if I can figure out which gang he's part of. Oh, and the mercenaries, the independent guys, have gray bases, which makes sense. Oh, maybe it's not color-coded. I might be wrong. I think they're color-coded based on their placement in the gang. That might be it. But these guys look like the same sort of group. Yeah, no, they're all separated into different groups, so I was wrong. That would be a cool way to do it. But I'm guessing they have certain roles that they play in the gang. So maybe these guys, that explains maybe why they're all kind of dual-wieldy heavy weapon guys. Maybe these are like your brutes or your damage dealer guys. But yeah, very cool. So that's one group. I'm going to take a moment and let's see. Anyone else in here speaking to me? So there are similar characters in different colors. I got to do some research and figure out what this all means because I'm not being very helpful with what I'm saying. I'm just looking at cool minis and being like, hey, these guys are cool. You agree? I mean, they're all very cool. Ooh, okay. If you are not thinking about playing this game, but are still hesitant about just like getting it for the minis, boy, do I have something to show you. And one of these guys, ooh, he's good too. So, okay, I got 3 minis that I need to show you guys right now because, holy crap. Get to the side, you 3. Let's start with, I picked you up first. So, if you're just thinking about these to get them for your setting of D&D, if you're looking for if you're trying to think of like a cool squad for Necromunda, or even like, you could probably make like Space Wolves with a lot of these guys for Warhammer, or Norskins for Sigmar. Are they still in Sigmar? I don't know. But here's some good looking minis, some awesome looking characters that are just a sample of some of the cool stuff in this set. Look at this witch. Holy crap. She or he, they're amazing. All the skulls in the world. All the skulls. My camera will focus. There we go. Look at all the skulls. The staff. Oh, what a great looking character. That is perfect for, like, if you need a good crone to be a bad guy. Especially if you need a good, like, hag for your D&D setting. Very good mini. I'll be keeping that in mind. Number 2. Look at this dude. Like, I love horned helmets like that. He's got the big horned helmet. He's got the weird mask. I know a character who might like that. A player that might like that. Got the double skulls as his shoulder pad brooches. Beautiful looking cloak, big battle axe. He'd look great as like a champion for like marauders and stuff. He could fulfill a lot of things. He's a good like evil bad guy. He looks great. And then this guy. Look at this guy. There's nothing that can be said besides this is a man who I think is adorned in a load of feathers. I think that's a bird nest. And he's an absolute star of the show. Could be like a druid, could be a crazy madman that they come across. This could be their favorite NPC. Like, that's a great character. Beautiful. And those, like I said, those were 3 of like 50 or plus miniatures in that box alone. Because I think the bigger box is bigger monsters, which I'm excited for. So, I'm going to clear off the table a little bit. Man down! Alright, with them cleared away, I think it's time to open the other big box. If you guys want to see me go through each and every miniature and talk about them, just nerd out over them, let me know. I don't think that would be super interesting to just have me nerd out at miniatures, each individual miniature, but I mean, if you guys like it, let me know. Open up that. Not stealing it from you guys this time. And oh, we got some big boys. We got some huge boys. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I think that other box is more like 70 miniatures because this is way less guys, but they are huge. They're huge. And this was the bigger box. Oh my god. Okay. Look at this selection we got here. Look at these big guys. We got all of these dudes. Remember, this is one part, one little snippet of everything you get with this box set. So it's just such a... I was stupefied when I saw the price versus the number of minis. I figured it would be like epic scale, very small minis. I think this guy proves that's not the case. This guy most certainly proves that these are not tiny miniatures. Look at this guy. Oh my god, he's got a lot going on. He has a tail. He's got crabulon arms. He's got a weird head. Oh, he's got a weird mouth too. Look at that. This is an awesome looking mini. That I think you could use that as so many things in anything you want. That could be some sort of weird abomination that your party has to fight. This could be your like Skaven's like it could be a very cool like rat ogre or like a hell pit abomination. Maybe a little small to be a hell pit abomination, to be fair. But it could be so many things. And I don't think my Space Marine wants to fight that guy, does he? No, I'd say probably not. What else have we got in here that's... I mean, all of these guys, all these big guys are great. We got a perfect, like, ogre right there. Very cool. Got his hammer, which is... This is the first littlest show I've seen so far, is that his hammer has gone a little kooky. Let me see if we can fix it. And it's going to take some time, but it's flattening out a little bit. But very cool. We got Kuato from his starring role in Total Recall. As like some sort of weird gigantic ogre. This could be like, is it a dire troll in D&D? Or any number of weird monstrosities that envelop things. If you're feeling like putting the Thing in your D&D game, perfect. Ooh. Look at this guy. Look at his big mouth. Look at his horns right there. His big old maul. If you need some sort of weird looking minotaur or, again, just... Yeah, he's a minotaur. This guy's like... Because he's got the cloved feet, too. He looks great. I love him. All these guys look beautiful. I just want to take a quick look and see if there's anyone else that we need to throw up there. Oh, yes. Yes, of course. We got to show the box art guy. Tyrant. I think he just shook the table when I put him down. So, you can tell right away. There's a reason this guy's box art guy. He's got the camera won't focus. He's got the cool armor. He's got the big abs. He's got the angry face. He's got the beard. The luscious, glorious beard. Got that Viking hair. Got the axe that is in and of itself 2 or 3 times the size of those other guys. He's got a skirt made of skulls. He's beautiful. He is awesome. That's a good way to show off who's in charge around here. So, that's for the most part the minis all opened up. I'll put him next to a Space Marine. A Space Marine that definitely doesn't want to face him either. Yeah. I don't think the Space Marine's going to win this one. Even with his little plasma pistol, he's not going to do well. He's just looking down at him like, you really want to try this? All right. what he sounds like. When the game adaptation comes along, I expect to be hired as the voice actor for Tyrant, so then I can do his voice correctly. You know, hey guys, my name is Tyrant. I'm sorry. Let me just set all these madmen aside for the moment, and we can open up the next little thing. Next up, we got the tile set. I need to stop stealing it from you guys. I'm gonna be careful so as to not hurt anything. Cannot hurt my precious. But open that there. Open that. Open this. And let's take a look. So I don't know if it's a map or if it's... Oh, it's a map. Okay. Hello. We got two or three sets of these here. Ah. So, we have our game board. It is thick with a couple of C's on there. But this is a very cool looking tile board. They're a little on the big side. They're bigger than your typical like grid map for, say, D&D, but with texture and stuff going on here, I think you can make an exclusion. We got some pretty cool stuff over here, yeah. Sorry, my brain started to wander. I had a lot of things in my brain. Very cool looking. Is it double-sided? It is not double-sided, but you get two of these. Let's see if the other one is different texturing and stuff, or if it's a copy of the same. It looks like it is the same. Ooh. Yeah, it's the same, but that's still a very nice board. Beautiful board. It's 10 by 14 tile-wise. So that's pretty good for like D&D purposes and stuff. So that would be what, 50 by 70. So put both these side by side, you might have something even, you can make twice as big as that and have a nice little textured board available, which is pretty cool. Put those away, but pretty rad. They're also nice, and the thickness does make them kind of push up a little bit, but at the same time, they're very heavy duty. You can feel that that's not gonna like bend or twist or anything. Nice. Oh, just a thought. I can actually show off here. Put my little D&D mini there. Yeah, so he's definitely a bit, he takes up just a little bit of the space. He takes up one of the corners. So actually, you might be able to quadruple the size if you can remember to do the corners. But honestly, just playing it like that and then having monsters just be like gigantic is, you know, also works. Or the battlefield just be, you know, words. The words escape me, but can do with other thing good, yes. Much. Next up, we've got dice. Times 2. Dice. You get 12 dice, each with different sides, obviously. So, let's take a look here. We've got what looks to be a shield icon on 2 sides, there and there. we've got daggers on those two sides, and we've got that thing there and that thing there. So my guess is when you roll to attack, then this is complete guess, but say your guy has 2 attack dice. You roll 2 dice, and if I take a look over here, we have 1 attack and 1 defense. So probably only the hit would matter. And let's say your guy had 1 defense. He defends because it's 1 shield. And I'm guessing that that's like a fail or something, and that's a crit. It would be my guess there. So good to know. Good to know. Of course, I'm making up what I think the rules are, so that was kind of pointless, but you know, that's what I guess. It would make sense. Put the dice away. Next up, we got these. I don't know if these are supposed to be the terrain. No, these aren't the terrain, I don't think. Now I need to be careful, because I don't want to accidentally cut anything important with my letter opener. I'd like to get it. Oops. Here we go. Right along there. Perfect. Open that right up. Escape from your plastic. And, okay, so here are the Plateau Tiles. So I'm guessing they're sort of like difficult terrain stuff, which is pretty neato. So you can just kind of put those there onto the board, and you know, like this 3-tile area is difficult terrain, which could honestly be used in, that could be used in any game whatsoever. And as I'd probably guess, let's see. Yeah, so they're obviously a lot of attention paid to detail. They're perfectly the size of the tiles. So you completely fill up a tile. Excellent. Very smart. And what is in this one? More plateaus. And some more craters and stuff. I don't know what this is supposed to be. Is that a tent? I believe that's the tent. Aha. Oh! Those are trees. Okay. So, terrain-wise, I did misunderstand this a little bit. You don't get physical terrain. These are your like terrain pieces. So you can put these on the board, and that shows like there's an object. There's a tent here. There's a tree over here. So they're not the 3D terrain that I thought they were going to be, but honestly, considering the price, it was kind of an overestimation on my part. Would have been cool to have some 3D terrain, but I'll take it. I will not be picky about this. Okay, maybe a little bit. And we got what looks to be... Okay, so it looks like the tents have different benefits they give if you hold them. Do they have that on? Yes, okay. So on the flip side of these tents, you see they have different bonuses. So this one, for instance, gives you a benefit of 2 and 2, I think. Or maybe depending on what spot you're in. Or if you hold the tent, then you get the benefits. I'm not sure. And a food token, too. I'm guessing that's more for like objective play, maybe? I don't know. I'm making things up again. Could probably start a tally of how many things I make up in this video. This one, I assume, is exactly the same. Because it's got a bunch more tents, got a little food icon, got all the plateaus. It's very, very nice. Very cool. Let's check out tokens. 1, 2, 3. And we'll do the other 2 in the next one. Next phase of things. check out a couple of our hands here. Take my strong hand. Nice looking little hand. I'm not sure what it does, but you can shake on it. That's perfect. Good old handshake between two dead men. Also, COVID's a thing. You can't shake people's hands anymore. Padoli. That's why they're in an apocalypse. Got some skulls. I'm guessing they're like objective markers or point markers. I have not read the rules, so we will see soon enough what that means. Ooh, is that a hint at what's to come? Maybe. I don't know. It wasn't me that said it. Guess it was. And we got our purple X's and our Lucasfilms. Purple X's. I don't know if that means a person was killed here or what. Also, some of them have yellow X's on the back and the others just have black. I'm sure there's a difference there. I threw my Lucasfilm at you. My apologies. And there he is, holding his friend. His hand. Father and son? Best friends? Who knows? Those are some pretty cool tokens that I don't understand what they mean. I'm sure once I read the rules I'll have a better idea. Let's get to those fire tokens. Those are exciting. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm probably not going to cut it down into parts. I'm just going to let you guys see the whole thing. Of course with some editing. Little bits here and there, a couple of cuts. Like when I drop my phone because I'm smart. Plonk, plonk. And we can get these guys too. Kerplunk. Start with the fire. Fire is the most exciting thing of these tokens because I know what I can do with those. So we got some red skulls, which I'm guessing are for if something particular happens to that location, that marker. Don't know for sure though. And obviously, fire means fire. Fire bad. But fire, very good for marking where fire is in any other game. And you get a whole bunch of those. Get about 12, 15 of those. So that's very nice. Very cool. Have to pillage this every now and then for those. Of course, I'm already pillaging it for the minis, so that makes sense. Got your eye tokens. Pretty cool. Don't know what they do. Maybe it's like a debuff or a bonus. Maybe it's part of like the Tyrant and what he does. I don't know. And these guys, not in the Ziploc. These open up. I stab at thee. Open this. What have we got? So, they're definitely, let me see if I can get that to focus. They have like little ridges in there, which makes me think they're for minis. Let me see. Grab this boy here. Do they go on like that? They do go on like that. So I don't know what that's for necessarily. Maybe if you guys are panicking or if you need to, if there's different status conditions. Maybe because gray stands for like the neutral guys. Maybe if you lose control of a guy, they get that gray thing put on them. And maybe if they're wounded, they get the red. And maybe if they're dead or blind or something, they get the black. I don't know. But you get a whole bunch of those for the little minis and a bunch for the big minis too, which is nice. Clean all this off the table. I just realized I gotta upload each of these parts to my drive and then put them to OBS and then did I put them to OBS? I don't know. And I gotta encode them. This this is gonna take a while to go. Hopefully, I'll have it out for pretty much the day of recording or the day after. We'll see. Now we got cards. These are for each of your characters. So I'm actually not gonna open them up and throw them everywhere because big brain. Let's open this up here. And let's see what we got. I mean, it's not like a booster pack. These are cards for each of the characters. So, we got the Prince, which I believe, for most of the gangs, we got the Prince here, which I believe for most of the gangs is your kind of leader guy. So, he's got toughness 4. He's tough, and he's got 4 attack and 4 defense. So, he rolls 4 dice, I'm guessing. And we know he is the Ungra Prince. Very nice. And he looks like that. Wait, don't we have him? Yes, that's this guy. We found him. We found his home. Oh, he didn't make it. Very cool. We got... Oh, it's color-coded. I'm silly. That's... See, because that's brown, and that's red, and that's red. What am I doing swapping the camera? Oh, what's that going to do to the recording? Oh, I have no idea. But that's brown, and that's red, and that's white on there. So you got your Prince, your Champion, your Shaman, your Warrior 1, your Warrior 3, your Warrior 5, your Warrior 6, your Youngblood 1, your Youngblood 2, and then on to the next group of gangers. And are these all Ungra? Yes, they are. So, that means... I gotta flip that. Don't look at the thingies. So this is your deck for an Ungra gang. So you got each of your characters represented with their toughness, their stats and stuff, their abilities. We know he's ranged. They're both ranged. Yeah, so we can see there is a pretty big difference with some of these guys and how good they are at stuff. We get some nice little artwork of them on the back. Oh, there's our buddy. Well, kind of our buddy. Okay. Very cool. And I'm guessing the rest of the deck is each of the other gangs, which would make sense. Which makes me kind of want to go through and find those amazing characters we found, but I can probably wait. That's all right. Let's see. What is next? I just dropped the cards everywhere. So when I was like, I'm not going to get these all disorganized. The second I put them off the table, I disorganize them. So that's good. More cards. And it looks like these cards are ability cards when you play the game. I'm wondering if the eyes are like victory tokens, because this card gives you 2 when you KO people. So that's interesting. I bet, yeah, these are like cards of... These cards are how you get victory points and stuff. I'm not going to open them, because I don't know what they mean yet. I think it wouldn't really make any sense to open them up without knowing what they do. We've got these things, which are sleeves of a sort. I'm curious to know what these actually do. Or if they're just card sleeves. They are... Oh! These are status conditions. So you, let's say, take this boy here, and he has this status put on him. So that way, you know, during the game, you don't have to put like a marker or a die down or anything, or just try and remember it. You just put that over the top, and you know that he has, say, I think that's 1 kill. Very cool. Makes sense. Way more sense than card protectors. And we got one more big thing in here. aside from other card protectors, which aren't card protectors. I literally just explain what they are. We got the rules and the game map. Gonna very carefully open that up, if I can. Open it up if I can. There we go. Ooh, you see how slick that was? Probably not, because my hand was probably in the way or something. So, we got right here, it looks to be the battle map, the map of the world. 11 figures in battle. There is a lot of stuff over here. That's a lot. So that's how you can tell the tribes, the number of resources and stuff. There are CPs, capture points or command points or something of that sort. Yeah. We got a lot of these. So I think these are just the, that's actually that must be like how you record each campaign, I bet. So you mark it all over here. You put down the name of your tribe, the player count, and then how many victory points, how many eyes, and how many food you have. And maybe you win if you reach a certain amount. Let's see. So you can put your lowest resource plus your conquest points minus your wall of death, which gives you your total score. Okay, so you get a score that changes after you play each match. So the better you do or the worse you do, it impacts your total score rather than just your current score. So you can still come back from a loss and you can still lose later on, which makes sense. It's a game. That's the whole point of a game. Here we have what I believe to be the core little rule book. Let's take a look through and see what we can see. Got some beautiful artwork. Table of contents. Let's just flip around a little bit. We can see all the rules in here. Not a super long rule book. 36 pages or so. That's pretty doable. That's not too bad. Interesting. Whole bunch of rules, whole bunch of stuff. Teaching you what things do. Oh, that's cool. So you remember your dead characters. Which is nice. It's nice to remember the dead people. Yeah. Each tribe has their own rules and stuff. There's our boy, our beautiful, angry boy. And we have a bunch of rules, a bunch of stuff. I'll have to go over this with a couple of friends, but we'll get to that in a little bit. We got some scenarios here, so we've got a couple. We've got the Altar of Chaos scenario, a Throne of Skulls, the Worm, the Duel of Titans, the Big Oven. I see. Yeah, so there's a bunch of little additional scenarios in here. And if I flip over to the other side, we've got, what is this? Okay. This is actually a list of, okay, I see here. So, you've got your spend Savagery tokens to use the enhanced abilities, enabled abilities. Okay, so you like upgrade your force as you go on. And that's where you mark your battles. So you have what looks like 5 clashes in a typical game. And here's where you mark all your dead people. So I'm guessing you get like your whole squad back, but the more deaths you incur, the worse your score is at the end, which is interesting. It means you can still come back from like losing a bunch of guys. It just, you know, might not be easy. And there's captives. There's a bunch of stuff. Okay, is that everything in the box? Let me take a quick look around and make sure. It's not. There's this plastic thing. It's a nice piece of plastic. I have no idea what it does. I'm a little confused and a little scared, if I'm honest. So, that was my unboxing of Hate. Overall, very cool. A lot of awesome stuff to see in there. The minis are beautiful. There's a lot of rules. There's a lot of little things involved. Definitely, if you happen to see it on sale, absolutely pick this up. If it's still on that $50 off, I would say it is 100% worth it. And even when it does go off of sale, if you're interested in giving the actual game a shot, I would say absolutely go for it, because it's 103 miniatures, it's a bunch of different stuff, all the tokens you'll ever need, all the dice and bits and pieces you're ever going to need, and yeah, it's it's pretty great. I believe there are a couple of other like tribes available as well, independent of the core rules. Honestly, I think there's a lot here that you don't even need to get into those yet, but if you want to give those a shot, then obviously, I mean, that's up to you. I'll probably be sticking with the core game for now, though. But I gotta say, you know, I feel like I haven't seen everything here. I feel like I looked at a bunch of cool minis and said, look at how cool these miniatures are. And I looked at a bunch of rules and said, wow, that's a lot of rules. I think we need to give this a try. I'm going to be putting together a little group, and we're going to be giving this a couple of games to see how it goes. Might be a little while to see that, because I got to organize some things. COVID's going to make things difficult. But I have some ideas in the works. But yeah, so you have not seen the last of Hate. Again, I am not sponsored by Hate, by Adrian Smith, by Miniature Market, by anybody. That being said, if you want to sponsor me, I'll take it. I mean, I'll do that. I spend enough money on that site as it is. No, but I just wanted to check this out and show it off. And yeah. In the meantime, guys, until you see that game, or until we have another little episode here, I hope you liked the unboxing format. I'm still learning the ropes with it. But I got a couple of other things to unbox in mind. In fact, I didn't bring it down with me. Yes, I did. I brought down something else to unbox. We'll see if we do that today or for next week or what. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Remember to be nice to your delivery people. After all, they're getting you that. So, you know, you should be nice to them. And to be awesome out there. And I will see you in the next one.